Alright, so I'm back with another video. I know it's been a minute since I've posted, but I'm back with a video today. I'm going to be doing 6th, 7th, and 8th grade makeup. I'm going to be popping my face off between each transition with my little wipes. But, oh yeah, I know I'm a little close to the camera. But let's get started with what we're going to do. Okay, so to start on my makeup, obviously I put my hair back, but I feel as if you need a small collection for 6th grade makeup because you're not doing that much. So what I'm going to start off with is this CoverGirl Clean Sensitive 505 Ivory Liquid Foundation. This was my go-to foundation a while ago. I feel like this is a really good beginner foundation. For all your basic needs, wants, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's not a pump, which that's the one thing I don't like about it. It's not a pump cap. It's just the regular old little, throw it out on your hand and go from there. And my dog is walking around. You don't need that much foundation. I'd Equate. Just a little bit on your hand is what we'll do for this. So this is just going to be my simple 6th grade makeup look. And I'm going to tell you all the products I'm using. So, I mean, if you are in 6th grade and you're on here wanting to know, what's the point of where I'm not telling people what they should and shouldn't do with their makeup. But I just feel like this is a really good light coverage foundation. So you're not looking like too much, but you're still covering up your face a little bit, so those imperfections are going away. And yeah, I have my little mirror right here, but it's not bothering y'all. Okay, so I feel like this is a good looking foundation base so far. I'm not really going to use primer because that's not an important thing to use when you're that young. You're not really going to see many people using primer. But anyway, what we're going to move on to next is the palette I'm going to be using is Revlon Color Stay Not Just Nudes palette. I feel like this is a really good beginner palette. It's not too harsh of colors or shades. It's kind of just right. So I'm going to go in with, my little mermaid brushes. It doesn't matter what brushes you use at any age, just as long as they get the job done right. So off of this palette, I think I'm going to use, which shade? I'm just going to go in with this grayish color up here, grayish, shiny-ish color. This is just going to be like basically all over my eye. So we're just going to do that on my eye. We're just going to do a natural like 2-color look. Anyway, what I'm going to do next is a little bit of eyeliner. I'm using this cat eyeliner pencil from Hot Topic, I believe is where I got it. But it's just this simple little eyeliner stick. I'm not going to use liquid eyeliner, obviously. We're just going to line the eye a little bit. Alright, eyeliner is finished. I think this is a simple eyeliner look. It looks fine. Just a line across still gives you definition and whatever you need. So for brows, I'm going to brush my brows out. I'm not going to do them harshly. I'm just going to put a little bit of color in them. Oops. So they look decent. But this is an e.l.f. eyebrow pencil in the shade Toupee or Top, whatever. Don't know how you say it, but whatever. I'm just going to fill in my brows real quick. This is just a very simple look, and I don't know if I'm liking this or not. Anyway, what we're going to go in next with is my go-to mascara. It's CoverGirl Lash Blast Fusion in the shade Very Black. And this is what I would use for my eyelashes, basically on any look. But this is a really good beginner mascara. It does not clump, and that is a good thing because you do not want them clumpy lashes. Because all them girls gonna laugh at you, honey. Anyway, what we're gonna use next is my lipstick. This is not really appropriate for me to show on camera because it is not a good, appropriate lipstick. especially for this tutorial. So I'm gonna cover my lipstick up, but it is a very light pink shade. I don't know what shade this is, but my advice is to use a light hot pink kind of shade, not super hot pink like an old woman hot pink, but using some kind of pinkish shade, a lighter pop of color for a 6th grader. Okay, so this look is complete. I did the eyeliner, the mascara, and a little bit of eyeshadow. That is all you basically need for a simple 6th grade look. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. Alright, so I'm going to take this off, probably speed up the video on this part. I'm going to take it off, make myself look fresh. Anyway, what we're going to move on to next is your 7th grade look. So I'm going to start out with an e.l.f. primer. It's the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. It's in the green bottle. It's got the little pump on it, which I love to pump. Anyway, we're going to start out by putting it on your beauty blender. Gotta get the beauty blender. I love beauty blenders. Now, I feel at this point you need a little bit. In 7th grade, it kind of seems that's when you start to get your face issues like dry skin, acne, and those kind of issues, dry skin and acne. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with my Rimmel London Lasting Finish in color 091 Light Ivory. This is my foundation choice for 7th grade. It's because it's got a little bit of a darker tint to it, and I feel as if you can start using a little bit of a darker tint in this grade. You want to kind of give yourself more of a pop of color and make it more noticeable that you're actually wearing makeup. So I'm going to dot this on my face with the Beauty Blender and blend it out. Okay, so as you can see, this is kind of a shiny, dewy finish. It's not a matte and smooth. It's kind of shiny and dewy. So what I would do next if I were, in 7th grade is take a setting powder. So I'm going to take the Milani Prep Set and Go Transparent Face Powder. And I'm going to take my EcoTools Kabuki brush. A little EcoTools Kabuki. We'll swivel it in there, and I'm going to set this to make it have a matte finish. Because in my honest opinion, I do not like the shiny finish. Now, if you like the shiny finish, girl, go for it. You do that shiny finish. I am not going to judge you for whatever you do. But honestly, in my opinion, shiny finish does not look good on my face, and matte is my go-to look. So it's got to be matte on my face. That's how you fix shiny foundation problems. Anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna do a little bit of highlight. I feel as if at this point, you can do a little bit of highlight to add a shiny, glowing effect on your face. So I'm going to get out of the Carly by Belle Deluxe Edition palette, and I'm going to grab this pink color, because that's my color, highlight, kind of tap it off, and add it to the sides of my face. I'm not going to go all crazy with the highlight, just sides of my face, basically. Over there, this highlight popping. You got to pop that highlight. Make the highlight pop on your face. Pop, pop, pop. Add a tiny bit to the forehead to make that forehead shine a little bit. I just use like a little brush like this for my highlight. I, in my honest opinion, do not like the highlighting fans. So this is kind of what I use. Look at that. Popping highlight, girl. Anyway, what we're going to move on to next is our eyeshadows. Now, I feel like a good palette for this grade is the Naked 3 palette, or any Naked palette in general. You can do some looks with this. It has a darker color choices. I really like it. Ooh, guys, y'all can see me recording right here. Gotta cover up that mirror. Anyway, I'm gonna come in with this brush that I usually do my transition shades with here. I feel like in 7th grade you can do a little bit more with your looks. So I'm gonna grab the color Nooner. I guess that's what it's called. It's Nooner. In this palette, it's kind of like a lightish kind of like a cocoa brown. And I'm going to pop this in the crease of my eye. So I've got that in my corner. Now I'm going to take a darker brown shade called Dark Side. That's what it's called. It's called Dark Side. The dark brown. I'm going to take the same brush because no need in using different brushes. And I'm going to pop this in the corner of my eye. Take a lighter color shade if you want to and just add on your lid, which I think I will actually do that. But I'm going to take it out of my Carly by Belle palette. These don't have names, but I'm going to take this shade right here. Because my Naked palette, the white color is almost gone from me using it so much. I'm going to put this on with my finger because I feel as if that works better. Don't ask why, I just feel as if it does. So there's that eyeshadow look. Looking gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And what we're going to move on to next out of this look is I'm also again going to use the Black Heart Cat Eyeliner from Hot Topic. Because like I said, you do not need harsh eyeliner at this age or any kind of wings or anything. That's just a little going overboard a little bit. Anyway, that is that. Just love eyeliner, don't you? Anyway, what we're going to move on to next is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect. This was my favorite mascara when I was in 7th grade, and yes, this was out when I was in 7th grade. I'm not that old. I'm 15 years old. I was in 7th grade not long ago. Now for this, I am going to add it to the bottom. That is that. And my last thing is I'm going to add lipstick. This is in like a brownish coral shade. It's coral with a little bit of a brown tint to it. Again, I cannot show you these lipsticks. They are not appropriate lipsticks. It's just the lipstick that I use. Okay. Now, if you do want to know the lipstick that I use, hush, Abby. If you do want to know the lipstick I use, I will link it down below. But anyway, this is not my finished look because I have to do my eyebrows still with the same e.l.f. pencil. That is the same pencil I used before. And I'm really going to fill in my brows, but I'm going to go a little bit more dramatic this time and actually fill in my arch and make my arch a little prominent this time. And that is that. This is my 7th grade look right here. Very simple, not too much. Definitely a more relaxed look, but also you have a little bit of a more, you know, a little bit more of a dressed up look, but it's also more relaxed. Anyway, it's time to remove this part of my makeup and do our last makeup look. Let's start out by using the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. This is my go-to primer. This also is not just an 8th grade look. This is also what I currently do with my makeup. I've been doing this since I was in 8th grade. And it's an appropriate makeup look. It's kind of like the, you know, the all-out way of doing the makeup. Once I get this primer on my face, I'm going to buff it in with my beauty blender. Now, y'all are going to find this part weird because most people do not do this, but I start out with my eyebrows. I'm going to take the e.l.f. brow pencil in the shade Top, like I did before, and I'm going to do my eyebrows. Actually do them. If you want to see how to do my eyebrows, click the link below. I'm making a new video on how to do eyebrow how to, so you'll be able to see that. Anyway, I'm gonna get to this. Once you've got your eyebrows done, what you want to do is take concealer. I'm using the Maybelline New York concealer in the shade 5 Ivory. It looks like this, 5 Ivory. And yes, I do use mainly drugstore products in my videos because I am broke. I do not use high-end. I do not see the point in it. I just take my finger, and with my fingers I kind of just smear the concealer in. There we go. Once you have your brows done, I think it's okay to say that we're going to start with our foundation. So the foundation I'm going to be using today is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer in the shade 00A Porcelain. This is my favorite drugstore foundation. I think it's like 13 bucks. So it's a little pricey. Anyway, I'm going to take my Equate flat Kabuki brush, and this is like my foundation brush, and I'm going to put my foundation on it, and I'm going to start buffing it in. Alright, so once you have that all buffed into your face, I take a beauty blender and I just pat it all down to make sure that it's nice and all blended in there, because you don't want streaky looking. You don't want it to be streaky with your foundation brush, because it can end up turning out streaky. Anyway, what we're going to do next is take my... I have to get on to her all the time. Is take my Maybelline concealer, and I'm going to do the dot method. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to dot it on my face, like dot, dot, dot in random places. I do it under my eye. I just don't do the triangle. I do a little streak under my eye, but then I also do it around my face. Take my Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and I'm going to blend this in to my skin, into my skin, into my skin. Blend, 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 blend into my skin. Next step is to bake your under eyes. I'm going to take the L'Oreal Hydra Perfect Perfecting Loose Powder in the shade 916 Translucent. This is what it is. Ooh, I'm going to put some into my lid. Just pat it in my lid there. Quite a bit. You need quite a bit. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender. This is my old one that I use for this kind of stuff. Get all over your beauty blender and pack it under your eye. Really pack it, because that's what baking is. You need to pack it. I'm just kidding. I don't know the real definition of baking your face, but you know, I gave it a try. Put it in all the areas that you would normally put concealer. That's where you want to bake your face. So as we're letting that set, I'm going to put my bronzer on. It's by Physicians Formula. It's Bronze Pearl. I really like this bronzer. It's my go-to. And I'm going to use my little, it's not really a bronzer. It's supposed to be a highlighting fan, but it's so thick that it's good for bronzer. Some under here. Blend it all in with your neck. I feel like I need to add more baking, but I think it'll be fine. Anyway, what I'm going to move on to next is my eyeshadow while this is still baking. I'm using the Carly Bybel palette. It's the deluxe edition. And I'm going to take a transition shade. I'm going to take this light brown shade down here. I'm not sure the name of it. I will try and find the name of it, but Carly Bybel does not put the names of her eyeshadows in here. So, you know, we just got to deal with it. Now, once I get done with the transition shade, I'm going to take a darker brown. Actually, I think I'm going to take this purple shade today. Purple shade. And I'm going to add this in my corner. So once I have those together, I'm going to take my pink shimmer color, and with my finger, I'm going to add that to my lid. Now, once I'm done doing my eyeshadow, my face should be ready to fix that baking. So I'm just going to take this kind of little brush, and I'm going to swipe that powder off. Add some highlights. I'm going to take that pink highlighter that I've been using right here, and I'm going to add that over top of where my bronzer is. I'm not going to put it on my bronzer, but above my bronzer. So what we're going to move on to next is my liquid liner, which I have to use tape to guide myself because I'm not good at liquid liner yet. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of suck at makeup still. A minute, but I'm using the e.l.f. liquid liner in the shade Jet Black. So I'll leave y'all alone for a minute. Alright, so my liner is done. It's not perfect, but I think I can deal with it. It doesn't look too bad. It's actually not that shabby this time. Anyway, before I add on not eyeshadow, but mascara, I always like to set my face. So I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Natural Finish Photo Focus Setting Spray. Kind of gotta shake it up. I'm going to go in with L'Oreal's Voluminous Lash Paradise in the shade Black. I really like the Lash Paradise, but it is really clumpy. That's a disclaimer. Very clumpy. I just forgot a whole part of putting on lipstick. We're going to just act like I did not forget to put on the lipstick. And again, I cannot show these lipsticks. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed doing this. Comment, subscribe, tell me more of what you would like to see, and thank you for watching.